Okay, this is my latest project I sort of got sidetracked on. I was in the process of making a fourth axis for my CNC, and I needed to tap a bunch of holes, and doing it by hand was sort of a pain in the butt. So my original intentions were to take this old chuck I got at an auction. It just came in a box of junk I bought, and it's called the Magic Chuck. And the patent date on it is February 11th of '02. So I think that's 1902, not 2002. So in the process of looking up some information on this, I came across a website called Tools and Gizmos, and they had a listing of all the different types of tapping heads and compression extension tools on there. And there's one particular I liked that's called Parlock, and when I saw the picture of the cutaway of it, it sort of reminded me of a quick connector for hydraulic hose fittings. And so basically this part is a hydraulic hose connector, and I just modified it by drilling extra holes with bearings in it. And there's 3/4 of an inch of travel on the extension and compression part, and I just put a pin in there because I don't have any way to really do an internal keyway. So I just this holds up pretty good, and it doesn't bind up or anything. And the other thing I liked about the Parlock system was the tool holders were simple to make. Basically, I just did the lathe mill setup, so this goes in my milling machine, and I just machined all the tool holders. I could easily just swap them in and out. I think they took about 4 minutes to do this. Not hard at all to do. So that's the other thing I liked. And then the dimples here are what controls the clutch action on the clutch, and so that just basically just fits in there like that. If I can get it in like that. And the taps are just held in with a set of, I just drill a hole through it, both sides, all the way through, and put a set screw, and that's what holds the tap in on the square part of the tap. And so far it works pretty good. The tool itself worked flawlessly since I started using it, and the only problems I had were with the actual machine and the spindle settings. I had to change a bunch of that stuff, and the acceleration and the braking on it. So once I got that straightened out, everything went really well. And so the rest of the video, I'm just going to have how it's put together and some of the problems I had with working out the bugs on my machine, and of course breaking a couple taps. But after that was, I straightened that out. It's been working okay since then. So enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you. Okay, I had to take it apart to put in the extra springs, so I thought I'd make a video of how it's put together. And so this part here is the hydraulic quick connector. Then there was an arbor that was made, so that's from here to there, and there's a long threaded pipe thread fitting that goes almost all the way up to there, and then that's all put together with, I have Loctite and a set screw. And then this bearing here is a thrust bearing from an automatic transmission. It's a needle thrust bearing. So this here carries the springs against that thrust bearing. And on the other side here of the springs is there is a hardened, this is just a outer race from a Timken bearing with a 23-degree angle on the bearing, And I just want to thank the guys at Browning Bearing and Transmission for putting up with me when I went in there. I'm like, hey, I need a bearing, but I don't know what size I need, so they had to probably bring out 10 different bearings and put up with me trying to figure out what size I needed. Um, so that really helped out a lot. Originally, I just had a machine taper on this, but since it's not hardened, it bore grooves in it pretty good. So I thought, well, I can probably just get a bearing to fit in there. So that actually turned out pretty good. I didn't have to remake this. I just bored it out, pressed the bearing race in there, and that worked out perfect. So that whole assembly goes over top of the hydraulic hose connector, and then this is just a little washer I trimmed down that sets where this where that bearing race stops, and then this snap ring goes over top of that. Therefore, it's sort of tough to press all this together. So that goes together like that. And then down inside there's a little plunger. The only thing this does is keeps the ball bearings from falling out. So that fits down in there like that. And then you just drop a bearing down in. So it's sort of tricky to, that thing won't line up. There we go. That just snaps down in. And I don't know if you sort of see that. So the only thing that does is keeps the bearings from dropping out when you take the tool, so the tool holder out. So you just drop your 4 bearings in there, lock them in like that. And then there's normally 10 in there, but I just put 5 in. This is the original assembly from the hydraulic adapter. So there's 5 bearings going there, and then this is the release ring for the tool holder. I like to line that up to. Oop, now it's not cooperating. This is a different spring than what it came with. There we go. Alright, and then a snap ring goes over that. And then for this end, this is the part that does the gives you a little bit of up and down movement in the compression extension part of it. So this basically goes like that, and then there's a pin. And this that tightens that up, so that holds the pin in and does the, so that's, and then the tool holder just will so that's it, taken apart and put back together. Okay, to set the clutch, what I do is I basically will machine the depth of the notches down, so they basically, the balls will pop in and out of the slots easier. And to do that, I put just a regular bolt in the end with the set screw, and then I use a torque wrench like this. And I went online and there's a company, I can't pronounce the name of it, EMUGE. It's a German company, and they have all the specs on there for the brake, for the amount of torque their brand clutches require. So I basically went on there and they said for a quarter 20 you need 6 Newton meters. So basically I'll set my torque wrench to I'll set it to 5.31, and right there it doesn't slip, so I'll go up to 6.5, and that's about where it starts to slip. So it's between 5 and 6, so that's close enough for me. And I basically do that for each of the tool holders. So there's a slight difference between this is an unmachined, nope, yeah, this is an unmachined one, and you can see where I removed a slight bit, and I think this is 6 Newton meters, and I think this one is 11. So without any adjustment or machining, they're automatically set for 11 Newton meters. Now I plan on adding more springs in here so I can use the a bigger tap than a 5/16. So I'm gonna have to go back and readjust this when I do that. So I'm still tweaking it. Okay, I got an unmachined tap holder here. I'm gonna see what the torque is on it with 12 springs in it. And I make sure I grease things up really good too. I don't want any friction to throw off the settings. Okay. Let's see, there's 10 Newton meters. Ah, my bolt's turning. Uh-oh, crap. That's not good. There we go. See what that does. Okay, that's 10 Newton meters. Keep going here. Let's see. There's 12. There's 12. Okay, so that's wrong side here. 13.78. So we'll go back down here. 13.5. So it looks like 13 Newton meters is the most I'll be able to go, unless I put heavier springs in. Yeah, just a little under 14. Huh. See if I can break a cheap ass hardware top. No, not quite. I gotta change something. It didn't retract far enough. It didn't break it. Okay, I lowered the speed by 100 RPMs. I'm gonna see what that does. No. I gotta increase the speed. I have to go the other way. This time I increased the speed by 100 RPM. That didn't work. Okay, this is 5/16 18 thread. No. Okay, right on. Okay, so you can break another top here. Huh. I think it needs a faster feed rate because it's the top's feeding faster than the spindle spins. Okay, here's a test with the feed rate feeded up on the down. So we shall see. No, that ain't gonna work. I need this spindle didn't stop this. It moves before the damn spindle starts up. Yay, it worked! Here's another test, see how this works. Hopefully this one will work out this time. Well, it seemed to work. Didn't break a tap that time. Okay, this test is going to be, I've increased the braking rate of the VFD and some pause and delay times with the stop and start of the spindle. So here we go again. Okay, this should be my final test. I changed the VFD settings to the acceleration settings to 1 second, and before I think they were at 3 or 4, so this should hopefully do it. Yay! That's what it was. VFD settings were wrong. Okay, one more test just to verify that that's all it was, and I am gonna be done, I think. This is 400 RPM. Yipper, that's all it was. Okay, this is a half 13 tap I found at the scrap yard. It's gonna be in a blind hole. So I'm gonna see if the clutch system works. We shall see. It works, but it works too well. Ha. I think I gotta add some more springs to that. Okay, this is a quarter 20 tap in a blind hole. See how the clutch works. Cheap hardware tap. Chances are it'll probably break off. We'll see. Oh man, it didn't. Holy crap. That was awesome. Okay, this is the second test, quarter 20, blind hole, hardware tap, and half-inch deep tap at 500 RPM. Wow. I took the pause out of that one. I had a pause between the stop and start, and that worked out even better. Okay, this is test number 3. A little bit deeper this time. 3/4 of an inch deep. Quarter 20 tap at 500 RPMs. works. Okay, this is test number 5. I'm having some problems with the threads not being quite right, and I think it's due to the fact that the chips are clogging up in the tap and tearing up the threads a little bit. About a spiral flute tap or something like that, it probably wouldn't be a problem, but so here's test number 5. This is a 1/4 20 tap, 3/4 of an inch deep at 500 RPM. Let's see how the threads work out this time. It's not too bad. Okay, that works. Okay, I just took the tap holder out, and you can see in the flute here there's a bunch of, got close up here, yeah, there's a bunch of aluminum jammed in there. So I think when I go that deep it's going to clog up pretty bad, but yeah, I think a spiral flute will take care of all those problems. Yeah, right there you can see the sort of wedged in there. Yeah, a little bit over here too. Yeah. Okay, this is a multi-hole, 8 holes, 15/16, 18 thread tap, 500 RPMs through a 1/2 inch aluminum, 3/4 of an inch deep. Oh, that's so much better than doing it by hand.